Hi, Zak Greenawalt with Dry Fly Collective Real Estate at Keller Williams, Sun Valley, Southern Idaho. What if you had a cheat sheet, a cheat code on what to do prior to listing your home? From proper white paint to pick out, to the backsplash, to the countertops. In this video, you're going to find out from Sarah Latham of Latham Interiors where your money goes the furthest when you look to update your home. Click that like and subscribe button. Thanks. Sarah Latham with Latham Interiors.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good.
I appreciate you taking time to sit down with me today.
Absolutely.
So I think the goal for our conversation that I'd like to have is you've been in the interior design space for how long?
About 20 years.
20 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, you know, coming from the real estate view, I'd love to see how you look at not so much just the interior of a home, but the return on investment and how buyers and sellers, I think, view real estate in today's market.
Okay.
Okay. So let's just dive in. If someone had a budget, and I think you and I've talked off camera here, but you've got clients that come to you with budgets that range all sorts. And we're obviously in Sun Valley, so we have very high-end budgets.
Sure.
But if someone came to you, and I don't want to put a price tag on this specifically, just because I think it limits maybe the answer that you can give. If someone came to you and said, I have X dollars to spend on a remodel on my home, where does that money work the hardest? Like what are the areas that if they were going to touch in their home, return to them the best value? Should they look to trade that house 1, 3, 5 years down the road?
Right. Well, the first question I would ask is, what is their goal? Is it for resale or is it for personal use over the years? And that's going to direct your budget differently.
Yeah.
If it's for resale, you know, we always look at the primary rooms. The kitchen is one of the biggest sellers in the home. And then the primary suite bathrooms are typically where remodel money goes.
Okay.
So those areas, depending on also the exterior, if some curb appeal needs to happen.
Okay.
But those would be my first questions. If it's more for personal use and not necessarily a concern for resale, I would say spend it where it makes you happiest.
Yeah.
So if that's on furniture, if that's on new flooring or something that is going to affect your life tremendously in the immediate, then that's where it should go.
Okay. So the kitchen is still, in today's world, it's still, you would say that's number one.
It typically now, yeah. They used to, you know, over the course of history, kitchens have been so back of house, but now they're entertaining spaces. They're where we spend most of our time, and nobody has staff necessarily to attend to their kitchen. So it's not hidden anymore. It's a part of our daily lives. Yeah. And I think anyone looking at real estate is going to immediately look at the kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if we had to do a list, top 3, you would say top 3 areas to touch: kitchen, primary bedroom,
and bathroom.
And then potentially the curb appeal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we'll get into a little bit later, but curb appeal meaning exterior paint, windows, all landscaping.
Yeah.
Okay.
All of it.
Okay. All right. So let's go a little bit deeper. This one, I think, let's stay more focused on maybe somebody who is looking to list a home here maybe sooner than later. And I do think most people in our area, the end user, I think they think of it is themselves.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And life changes and plans change, and
right.
You know, maybe you don't spend as much time here as you thought you were, or
right.
So, but if someone's sitting there and they are like, hey, if I was going to spend some time updating my property, where's the best money spent? So let's talk about paint. In your opinion, is paint still?
Yeah, always paint helps.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more in the immediate and honestly not as cost effective as some people may think.
Okay. Can you go a little bit further on that one?
Yeah, paint's an investment.
Yeah.
If you're repainting your entire home, interior or exterior, it comes with a fee. Unless you're doing it yourself, which is also a lot of time. a good painter, a good paint job is going to be a good investment.
Yeah.
We're not talking hundreds of dollars, we're talking
Thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So with that though, I think when you think of, maybe it's a $10,000 project, remodeling a kitchen is a
50 and upward.
50 and upward.
Yeah.
So it's still on a cost to cost basis.
Sure.
Probably one of the best things you can do.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A fresh coat of paint goes a long way. Yeah.
Now talk to me about color, because it did seem like for a while there, we remodeled our house 5 years ago.
Yeah.
My wife took the full burden for the most part of picking everything out.
I'm sure she did great.
She did great. I didn't know there were so many whites.
There's so many whites.
I did not know.
Yes. And it matters.
And she would go, which one do you think? And I'm color deficient. So I'd go, they all look the exact same to me.
Right.
But like for a while there, it did feel like white of some sort was the color of choice to paint your interior if you were just going to do a fresh coat. Sure.
It's a neutralizer.
Yeah.
White is kind of a fresh start. It means clean and aesthetic. Health-wise, it's always white in hospitals and
right. But you don't want that sterile hospital feel.
No, that's the trick.
Yes.
So you want clean, fresh, new feeling in a lot of ways, but you also need to pick the white that is going to suit your aesthetic or your environment, to not be necessarily stark hospital white, but more friendly, inviting white.
Yeah.
So those are kind of the color games we play, but it all depends on your setting. If anything's in question, you can always go white, but it's trying to appeal also to the masses instead of a small individual group when you're trying to resell.
Right.
So you have to take a lot of personalization out of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Take
that
down
crimson
family
wall that you love is maybe not for everybody.
It's pretty specific. So taking down family photos, trying to, if you are a fan of fishing or biking or something that is very specific to you, it may not appeal to others.
Right.
However, some of those things can also benefit. Maybe there is somebody out there that's like, I need a fishing retreat. So they're looking for those specific ideas, etc. But it's always best to start with eliminating and then slowly adding back. Yeah.
Is there a trend in color that's starting to shift, do you think?
Oh, color. There's always a desire for neutral, warm, natural. We are getting into more richness in color, which I'm really enjoying. The jewel tones are kind of coming out, but these are pretty specific to owner.
Okay.
So some people may not love walking into a emerald green bathroom where, you can take that and run with it with tile and wall covering. So depending on the owner and the property and their purpose, again, if it's resale, it's hard to go very color specific.
Yeah.
But if it's personal use, I think the more color, the better.
That's the interior designer talking.
Absolutely.
1000%. Yeah. Perfect. And let's talk about like the fixtures. So lighting, we've, Sun Valley it feels like we kind of went through a building boom in the 90s.
Yes.
A lot of the product that is being retraded is sort of that maybe 80s and 90s product.
Yeah.
And you can walk into 80s, 90s, 2000s houses and go, oh, this was built in this time frame.
Yes. Yeah.
So like light fixtures and things like that. So if we touch paint, would you say the next how much of an impact does
light fixtures have?
Yes.
It's kind of the jewelry of the home, I would say.
Okay.
It's an opportunity to add style and character. The real light fixtures, I would say, it depends on, we're talking task lighting. So the control system, whether it's like a Lutron system or just switches on the wall, that's a much more functional, high level of investment, can be, versus decorative lighting where you can, for a very reasonable budget, update light fixtures in a space to bring a newness, a new aesthetic and interest to the home, and really elevate its time frame.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, you touch the walls, you make it that really nice Cinderella white. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah. Or you even said inviting white.
Yeah.
That's probably an actual white color.
It could be.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if it isn't, I think
we could nail it with the
yes.
color names. Yeah.
Yes.
You know, a warm white, something that's not blinding you. It also, then to lighting, if the home or property has a lot of fluorescent lighting, you really need to tone down the white, because
that'll really,
So color value is tremendously important. Lighting is tremendously important when it comes to task, function, or decorative.
Okay. All right. So those two things would go a long ways.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now the next thing, the thing that we walk on.
Yeah.
The flooring.
Yeah.
Okay. What flooring styles are you seeing that date houses now? And what do you, LVP is very popular now. It seems to be kind of indestructible and bulletproof.
Yeah.
What are you seeing in the realm of refinishing floors? Is that something that you would recommend or maybe stay away from?
I mean, it all depends again on the property and the extent of the flooring material. We're remodeling a large home with a multicolored tile slate that is pretty distracting and time specific. So removing that is going to be critical to updating the aesthetic and desire of the home. So that trumped other needs as far as remodel direction. However, what is a specific material that people are looking to? I mean, it ranges on the use and function, but
and I think also like that price bracket, right? Like LVP is bang for your buck. Big bang for your buck. You're getting the aesthetic quickly. So picture wise in resale, it's going to look good. Yeah.
But day-to-day use, depending on the LVP, it can feel a little cold and a little commercial.
Okay.
So
be careful on what you're picking out there.
Be careful what you're picking out. I'd say hardwood, whether it's solid or engineered, is usually a preferred selection, and then you move to function and budget and you go to LVP or something like that.
What is the cost difference? I mean, is it pretty significant?
Yeah. Okay. And depending on the quality of the hardwood or LVP, you always want an underlayment with your LVP too, because you don't want to just roll out vinyl tiles.
What is that? What is the other?
Underlayment is something like a cork substrate or something that's going to cushion your thin profile vinyl. Okay. Yeah, because LVP stands for luxury vinyl plank.
Luxury. Yeah.
Yep.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that cork or that something underneath is going to keep it from.
It's going to add acoustic value. It's going to add softness underfoot. Because if you were just to put out LVP tiles on concrete,
they're very very thin. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's dive into the kitchen. All right.
Yeah.
The biggest area in the home.
Can be. Yeah. I
think time spent wise, like it seems like everyone congregates around.
Yes. In my home, it's the kitchen.
It's always
the
kitchen.
Mudroom.
Right.
All the hockey gear.
That's for that. Or don't even get me started on our mudroom. All right. So what's the difference between a smart refresh and overdoing it? Right. Cabinets are big.
Yeah.
But cabinets, maybe most people know this, but I didn't realize this until we did our remodel. Cabinets are really expensive.
Yeah, they can be.
They can be.
Absolutely.
Like it was probably one of the largest budgets items in our remodel.
Yes.
So when you think of, and again, best spent time and money is when would you recommend upgrading
the kitchen?
Cabinetry.
Oh,
things like
cabinetry.
that.
Well, it depends on their condition and the layout and your budget. So it's hard to say when. So you kind of have to look at the overall picture. What's the most important thing to spend your budget on in the kitchen? I don't know if there's one answer for that, but typically it's countertops and backsplashes that get approached first, construction wise.
Why is that?
It's the thing that is usually most outdated
Okay.
in remodel situations.
Okay.
So a lot of times there'll be tile on the countertops or laminate or something that really hasn't stood the test of time. So I would say typically that's something that's addressed first.
Okay.
However, cabinetry, it certainly is another big feature in the kitchen. And you don't always have to redo the entire cabinet box, again, depending on the layout. Mm-hmm. So you could possibly just add new cabinet doors and drawers and hardware. You can paint. It all depends. I hate to say this again, but on your budget,
for sure, your
finish goal.
Yep.
Appliances. That's a lot of time where people are spending their budget as well.
Okay.
So if you have an outdated Whirlpool refrigerator, it's really not something that other people can use on a day-to-day basis, or a dishwasher that's not functioning.
Yeah.
A lot of times that's where people's budgets go first.
Okay.
Because it's also bragging rights in selling property.
Yeah.
To say we have a whole Sub-Zero package or a brand new LG, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's also probably the first addressed over countertops and backsplashes.
Okay.
Anything aesthetic.
Okay.
It probably starts with appliances and plumbing.
Okay.
Truthfully.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you go appliances, plumbing.
Yes.
Surface countertops.
Yes.
Backsplash.
Yeah.
And then look at maybe touching the cabinetry if needed.
Yeah, if you can, if needed. And it all depends on your time frame, your budget, and your finish goal.
Absolutely. So. But you can still, I mean, if I'm hearing what you're saying, you can spend, there's no limit to what you can do.
There's no limit. Yeah.
But you can be very tactical about it as well.
Yes.
And say, okay, we're just going to pull off doors.
Yes.
Paint those, refinish certain things.
Yeah. Change out the hardware. Yeah. Change out your faucet. There's light touch approach to a kitchen remodel that doesn't have to be start from scratch down to
studs up and do a whole crazy thing. Yeah. Drop 6 figures and which you certainly
can. Yeah. And it's depending on the need for the home, it could be a real draw to the home.
Yeah.
So it may be worth your money and time to do it correctly.
Yeah.
And that makes it much more appealing to somebody else to know they don't have to do it, because people don't like to look at something and say, how do I fix this?
Yeah.
They want to go, I love it.
Yes.
And I just want to use it.
We're seeing that, I think, more and more in the buyer that's coming in. It's definitely what, price drives everything.
Yeah.
Location drives everything.
Right.
But when they walk in, they want to know if the price isn't right.
Yeah.
How much do I have to do to fix it?
Yeah.
I think the consumer right now really is looking for, like you just said,
Finish.
the problem solved.
Yes. They don't want another
I'm walking in
issue.
and going, wow, this is everything. Maybe it's just a couple of things I can do to the property.
Yes.
And that's what they're desiring.
Yeah. The time and energy to figure out the solutions to something is not what people are looking for.
Yeah.
They're looking for the answer and then just seeing themselves living in the space.
Yeah.
So.
But I was just at a real estate convention last week, and what you just said, I think, is like played out across all businesses, right? Like you're coming to the table from what you're doing to say, like, I solve problems.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think a real estate expert would come in and say, here's the problem. Here's the solution. Here's the solution.
Yeah.
And I think every company, you could say that's like
what our goal is.
Right.
Yeah.
And how well can I articulate what the challenge is.
Right.
And how well I solve said challenge.
Exactly.
Yeah. So from a home seller standpoint, same idea.
Same idea.
Solve the challenge.
Yes.
And
people come to us and they're like, how do we make this look good? That's the question.
Yeah.
We'll help you.
Yes.
We'll get you the answer.
Yes, we will guide you along the path. Yes, absolutely. All right, let's talk about market reality and kind of waste. So, and again, this is a nuanced question because I think everything's personal to the homeowner. But where do you see sellers waste the most money? Is there an area that you would say, like, it might not be worth going that direction? Like what feels important but is more emotional?
That's an excellent question. Well, what is emotional? Our
housing is emotional.
Housing is emotional.
Homes are emotional.
Homes are emotional. And how you spend your money really has to be thoughtful for others, I would say. So it's hard to take the emotion out of your home. So sometimes it's good just to take a vacation and then come back with fresh eyes and be like, whoa, I didn't realize my space felt this way, or just move the furniture around in the space.
Yeah.
That is also a new way to look at something, or picture it empty.
Yeah.
You know, how are other people envisioning using your space? What would it feel like to walk into it with fresh eyes?
Right.
And so that's part of taking the emotion out of it, and trying to see it almost as an empty box and then adding back to it. Is one approach. So how do people waste money on that? Is over investing in things that aren't integral to the home.
Okay.
In a resale situation.
Okay.
So probably furnishings, bedding, things that aren't going to matter to someone else because possibly they're replacing it.
Right.
However, if it is a turnkey situation, then you might need to invest in those items.
And again, that's price driven, price bracket, all those different things.
Yeah. So wasted money goes into bad choices with finishes.
Okay.
If you're going to do a remodel, make sure you review costs, have your decisions made well in advance. Changes in decisions and delay in time frame are your biggest expenses and waste some money during construction.
Yeah. And when you're the change orders and things like that.
Yeah.
Everyone loves that word, I think, in that industry.
Change orders?
Change orders.
Yeah, no.
Love that word.
No.
Yeah. Let's shift everything. Yeah.
Everything changes and that blows
timelines and costs. Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
All right. So let's end on this note. If we were to build a 5-point pre-listing audit for every seller, what are the 5 things that we should evaluate first every single time?
From a real estate perspective?
Yeah.
I would say look at location and curb appeal.
Okay.
Because that is immediately where people are starting to shop. They want to live in Ketchum. They want to live in Haley.
Yep.
They want to live, within proximity to a school or Baldy.
Yeah.
So just knowing how your location affects your property value is pretty important.
Yep.
But then probably some of it is curb appeal.
Okay.
So not always. Maybe people are living in duplexes or have property that's tied into a bigger building.
Yeah, a lot of condos and things like that.
Yeah, you can't necessarily change the aesthetic of that. But then looking to the interiors, kitchen, main bedroom or primary suite are always important, and bathrooms. Everything else is mostly finishes that can be changed or upgraded. Okay. Don't have a lot of investment in it, but the kitchen and bathrooms do because of the appliances and plumbing and hard finishes.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's 5, but other than that, it's also who your buyer is and taking the personalization out of your home a little bit. Which
can be really challenging.
Can be very challenging. Yeah. So it's good to ask a realtor, ask a friend, ask someone to come in and give them their perspective on your space and how delicately, of course. No one likes to think of their home not theirs or having to remove items that mean so much to them. But in a lot of ways, you do have to make it appeal to other people. Right. And at that point of wanting to trade the property, you are looking to, like you said before, get it in front of as many people as possible that is welcoming to the most amount of people. Yeah, they want to envision themselves there. And when it is so clearly your space, it's real hard to do that. Yeah. So. And if it's too sterile, it can... Oh, totally. It can go in the opposite direction. Yeah. So it needs some life, it needs some warmth, but in a thoughtful manner. Yes, everything needs to be thoughtful. Yeah. Okay. I wish I could give you pictures along with this, but it really depends on the property. It does. Yeah. Well, I mean, the scales are so different, right? Yes. It could be a $800,000 condo in Ketchum. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And it can be a $20 million property north of town, right? Or it can be $1 million house in Haley. Yeah. All those are going to have varying degrees of finishes and where money is best invested. Yeah. And so we get approached with spec homes, and we do various projects on the development side for that. And that is our job, is to look at how do we make this appealing to a buyer. Right. And you're exactly right. We do need some warmth and character. Yeah. But it also needs to appeal to the buyer in a way that they can envision themselves in
I think
space.
the vision thing is really hard. Sometimes if it's empty, I think someone like you can say, oh, I see.
Yes.
Oftentimes the buyer comes in and goes,
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I almost need pieces in here to
understand
a little bit.
Yeah. And we use a lot of rendering in our office to also help with that visualization in new construction.
And technology is really helping with that a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah. At a low cost, kind of help you see things.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's part of it, is the vision and understanding what to do.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
They can go to our website. It's linteriors.co.
Okay.
Or you can also call our office 208-928-6366.
And they need to come see the new showroom.
New studio.
New studio's beautiful.
Yeah, we're very happy. We've been here since May.
Wonderful.
And just grateful to be a part of the community. Thanks for sitting down with me.
Absolutely. Thanks for your insight and sharing. Appreciate your time.